Hi, everybody. Excuse me. This is Sean. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, everybody's having a good morning. Please like this video, subscribe, share, comment. I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the commentary. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Guys, I'm on Instagram. I have an Instagram account that's called The Firearms Trainer. The Firearms Trainer. It's just another way to connect with me. Obviously, the Instagram handle involves the words firearms. So if you don't like firearms, you probably don't want to be subscribed to that channel. I just want to make some admin talking points real quick. Some people have asked me about the classes that we're going to be having out here in Imperial County. One of the classes is a law enforcement sniper instructor course. Some people want to know if they're able to attend, what are the requirements. Well, it's a law enforcement and military only sniper course for instructors. However, it's also a law enforcement firearms instructor course. So if you provide training to law enforcement, you're somewhere in that sector, I don't see an issue with you attending the class. But some people think that they could just take like a a firearm permit class that's like 2 days, which honestly speaking, at many training centers where they offer these classes, they're not even giving you the proper instruction. But they think, hey, I took a 2-day class. I would like to take a law enforcement, not just the operator level, not just on the operator level, not just the end user, but the actual instructor of SWAT operator. So some people think, hey, I got a guard card, and I have a 2-day firearm permit class. I would like to take a class where I am teaching law enforcement SWAT snipers. Think about it. Well, what does it take to teach a law enforcement or military? I mean, the military guys, they're not taking these post sniper classes. I mean, is my understanding that this actually one of the instructors is a former scout sniper with combat deployments in dangerous areas, dangerous countries. But a Marine Corps scout sniper course is 500 hours minimum. That doesn't include like the sleep deprivation, the stress inoculation. It's about 500 hours. Okay. Some scout sniper who is currently in the military isn't going to take this post class. But anyhow, there are people out there that think that they can train the SWAT snipers, right? Also tactical unit snipers, and also the cool thing about this class though is I'm not teaching it because I'm not qualified to teach that class. But there's something new. It's been around. It's called the LVPO, LPVO, lower power variable optic, or LPVO or LVPO. Basically, you're attaching a low power variable optic on a carbine. That's all what it is, and it allows you to gather more information. So if you're a police officer, you're on some call, or maybe even a security officer, you're working at a nuclear facility and you want to gather more information about a potential threat that's coming that might be approaching the perimeter. As long as you have a legal right to point a firearm at somebody, you can definitely use that variable optic to zoom in and gather more information about what's happening. Matter of fact, with snipers in particular, 99% of their work, even close to 100% of their work, is just information gathering. Hey, command, this is what I got. The rifle that is on the floor where the suspect made numerous attempts to grab. I'm making this up as I drive on the road 20 miles an hour. has an orange tip right at the barrel. The barrel is actually the tip. The muzzle device is actually pointed. It's painted orange, right? That's the kind of information that the carbine operator that has an LVPO has, right? Now, going back to security and want to take these classes, do you have the abilities? Do you have the credibility to teach law enforcement, right? Do you have the credibility to teach maybe private security officers in other states? I mean, it's really not happening where in California, a security officer is able to have a LVPO on a carbine because they restricted our calibers, right? I mean, I suppose it's a gray area if you have a carbine that has 9 mil. It's a gray area, but I could see kind of a purpose for that. But are you providing that level of instruction? Do you have the credibility? And I know that some firearm instructors in the security profession, they just want to, I guess, update and continue their experiences, their trainings, which is a good thing also. But the other pressing question is, why are you trying to sign up for this instructor level course if you haven't even completed a basic precision rifle class? And these students are the ones that really worry me in class, the ones that are unconscious and competent. And yes, there's police officers that think that they could complete the class without any additional training. Now, the prerequisite, again, is you need to have be a law enforcement or military instructor. So, I guess private sector experience, if you're training probation officers or something like that, that technically counts as law enforcement or a law enforcement officer that wants to prove in their core principles of firearm handling. Yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, I would consider that an instructor for law enforcement. But as for completing a precision rifle class, that's a prerequisite, right? And if you don't have it, what have you been doing? Okay, well, I've been training with my grandfather's 30-06 from great grandfather, right, from World War II. He brought it back from Germany. I've been practicing with that. Okay, I've been practicing for 40 years with that rifle. Okay, under what conditions and how do you measure success? Were you successful training with that rifle? Yes. Well, how do you measure success? And was there ever an independent source that verified success? And these are fancy words or explanations, so to speak, to avoid a formal class. I mean, the easiest way to do it is, hey, show me a 3-day class that you took in precision rifle or sniper, some sniper class. And the word is changing, right? The name of the class is kind of changing. It went from sniper to precision rifle, PRS, DMR. Now there's classes called LVPO, and I keep mixing them up. LPVO, LVPO, carbine. Okay, they're all interchanging right now. Okay, give me 1 second here. I can drink some water. If you guys are listening and you're interested in the class and you think you're qualified, I mean, the worst thing that somebody could say is no, right? Just send me an email. And I'll put my email in the description box, maybe tomorrow. Or if you find it, send me an email. If you find it, or if you know what it is already, send me an email. What's up, Mike from the Professional Security Journal? He says the topic made me jump for my for my earbuds while at breakfast before class. Right? Provide
Um, University Security says, good morning. Professional Security Journal says scout snipers are no joke, crawling around in ghillies and what have you. And that is the worst. I mean, that's not even the word. Our instructor was published in a book, and I'm not talking about. I don't know if you guys saw that movie. Um, is it Final Destination? Where there was a Navy SEAL sniper, and he was, oh my goodness, it was just like him, and there was Taliban moving in. Wait, that's another movie, man. That's another movie, Final Destination. Is it called The Modern Day Sniper or No Easy Day? Oh my goodness. That's, guys, I read the book before the movie even came out. Jeez, I forgot. All right, I know you guys are here for the pepper spray and the taser comments. Okay, look. When you pepper spray somebody, my question to you guys is, how long does it last? You spray them right directly in the eyes. How long does it last? Well, there was a time I was assisting at the police academy for the chemical agent class, and there was about 30 recruits, right? And there was like, I kid you not, about like 9% of them, maybe 8, were able to open their eyes like right after. They weren't even affected by the pepper spray. They did explain, like everybody showed signs of discomfort, but there were some that were like terrorized by the pepper spray. And there was also some that were not phased, and that was like maybe 8 or 9%, and they just like walked off like nothing. And those are normal stats. Typically with pepper spray, again, depending on the actual chemistry of that agent and that actual individual, you're looking at an easy 15 to 20 minutes, even 30 minutes of excruciating pain, which is why I hate pepper spray classes. If I were to make some type of chemical agent class up, pepper spray would be being exposed to these agents would be as minimal as possible. But look, what happens when a suspect, an aggressor, you spray him in the face, okay, he's about to punch you, right? You spray him in the face, and then he gets up. Well, are you not continuing the same or similar level of force for 15 or 20 minutes? Think about this. Okay, 15 minutes have passed, EMS has got there, right? What do they normally do? The guy screaming, I can't see. Well, you would maybe flush them out with water, right? Flush their eyes out with water. Well, that can also reactivate the OC. And then when that person takes a shower, you guys ever try to take a shower after being OC'd in warm water? It all gets activated. My eyes shut 100% of the time, and the pain just reactivates. So that guard or that police officer that sprayed me like 6 hours ago, he gets seconds on me, right? He gets free dibs. I get to be in pain for another 5 or 10 minutes. Just think about that and let it sink in. Somebody's being aggressive with you, you pepper spray them, and then they give up immediately. Hey, screw this, I give up. But the pain continues. It's almost like, well, I want you to actually compare the two. How about like a wrist lock, a rear wrist lock? You're applying pressure. Okay, I give up. I'll put my hands on the back of my head. I give up. I'll comply. Do you keep applying pressure on the wrist? No. So with pepper spray, we continue to have that agent apply its chemical properties on your eyes and your skin. How about Pava, right? And I actually think that Pava might be a better alternative to pepper spray. Well, number one, it's supposed to be a little bit more potent than OC. And then second, the decontamination of it, it's a lot more quicker. So instead of that person like really have antagonizing pain for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, it's probably cut in half. Or maybe it was 20 minutes, now it's 10 minutes. It really reduces the amount of time. But still, okay, they give up after the first second of application, and yet that chemical agent continues to have an adverse effect on them for another 10 minutes or 12 minutes. Think about that. And then once again, compare that to a rear wrist lock. When they stop resisting, they stop fighting, you lay off on the wrist, on their joints. Tasers. Help me out, guys. Can a private security officer, and I'm not a taser instructor, can a private security officer purchase the law enforcement only models excuse me, of the X26, what is it, a P, or the Taser 7? Is there a model that, like I know that the old X26, is that P, oh my goodness, is it a C's, where it's a 30-minute ride of electricity? That one was traditionally available for the civilian market. And then the law enforcement only market got to have the 5-second applications. And the reason being is that in a law enforcement context, you normally have backup and other officers to assist you. Whereas with the civilian model, you are by yourself and 30 seconds gives you enough time to escape. Now, I kind of disagree with having a law enforcement only model and a civilian model, because security and police do very similar things. But anyhow, that's probably a topic of another story. But let's just say and I know that you guys know where I'm getting here. Let's just say this person takes a fighting stance. They're moving in close quarters to you, right? You tell them stop, back off. You're going to be tased. They move in and take another step. You tase them, okay, for 30 seconds. Well, what happens after the 6 second or 7 second they give up? They give up, they stop fighting. But you continue to tase them for 30 seconds, 28 seconds, or 29 seconds. Because on the X26C, I believe you could just shut off. Yeah, you can't. I think any taser model you could shut off the electric pulse, right? You could shut it off, right? Well, why aren't you shutting it off on the 10 second or the 15 second? I mean, that's just something to think about. And I know that with the X26P models, or I'm sorry, Cs, when you activate that trigger, the civilian version goes on for 30 seconds and then you're supposed to run away. But do you even have legal authority to apply electricity to them, to incapacitate them for that long? Because my argument is going to be, hey, as soon as you hit me with electricity, I started giving up. But you continue to apply, and here are the key words, unreasonable and unnecessary force. So this is what I think the future of technology is going to be, and I don't like it. I think pepper spray, including Pava, is going to get banned. I think it's going to be outlawed outlawed by the state legislator. Even chemical agents, right? If you apply CS in a crowd control situation where you want to deny access, right? That person inhales CS gas and then they give up. Well, they're still inhaling the same the same gas for a couple seconds longer. And is that legal? Well, I would say in most circumstances, probably it's probably more reasonable than pepper spray, because with CS, you just get out of the cloud. It's still on. You're still coughing. You're still tearing up. You can't really see, but in a matter of minutes, most of the pain is gone. But that's different with pepper spray. But I think that pepper spray PAVA will be outlawed. Maybe not in the next 5 years, 10 years, but maybe for sure in the next 30 years. Am I going to be alive in 30 years? You know what? I actually could be. And I hope you will too. I think tasers. I think that for tasers, the continuous pulsating of electricity is going to be, that feature is going to be banned, I think. And I think it's going to be trigger activated only. Once you depress that trigger, it shuts off. I think that's going to be, that taser is going to be forced to create something like that. If not yet already, again, I'm not a taser instructor. I haven't taken the Taser 10 class, but I think that's going to be the newest technology, and it's not market driven, really. I think it's, well, in a way, it's market driven because of cases, right? Legal cases, Supreme Court cases, appellate court cases coming through. So that's my prediction for the next 30 years or so. How do we prevent that from happening? Do your part in security. Don't use excessive force. Use force that is only reasonable and necessary. That's all I got. I'm looking forward to any comments and any suggestions and any dialogue. Take care, guys. And if you are interested in training, if you own a security company, you manage a security company, and you deal with crowd control situations, and you issue gas masks, if you want to pressure test those gas masks under the proper instruction by proper people who are properly credentialed to do so, shoot me an email or send me an email. How do you know? You may have issued your officers these $250 security, these gas masks. Well, do they work? Are they properly fitted? Do your officers know how to use them? And then for the chemical agents, I think IWCS or IWPS, they're an organization out of Florida, I think. They actually have chem agents that disperse just like CS. You know, CS is hard to get, like CS by itself. That's the agent that I would love to train with for security. But to get a CS only chem agent that disperses with smoke, it's very difficult. But that company out of Florida, they developed PAVA powder, and the method of dispersion is not, it's not an explosive. So what that would mean is it's not ATF regulated. Law enforcement generally have the agents that the agents that disperse from an explosion. Oh my goodness. I got brain fog today. All right, guys, I'm out. Looking forward to dialogue. Take care.